Hello, hello, hello. Hey there, Teufel. How's it going? Cybercyclonic. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hey, Sweep. Creeper. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, well, the stream is getting started. By the way, I forgot to do the intro for the people watching the recording, but hopefully this text up here says what's going on here. Fuzzer keeps finding crashes, and so I keep handing assets. And we'll see who get tired first. Time for a little shopping. Okay, so here's what I think we should do. I think I'll need a few minutes to have this get the stream starting because I need to make tea. Also, it's super fucking hot, even though I'm gonna make warm tea, but it's hot. So I also need to fetch my ventilator. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, give me a few minutes and then we'll get started. But you know what's happening. You know what's going on. Oh, you know also what I forgot to do? No. You know what? I'll be funny. I'll be right back. Ooh, right on time. So, hello, everybody. What do we do today? We fuzz. Like every night, well, day, morning, whatever, we fuzz. That's all we do. So check this out. So there's this file that for some reason causes a underflow to happen. I have no freaking idea why, but it manages to do that. And yes, or rather, it has to do with SVGs. So basically, what I'm doing is like I'm keeping track of the fact that we are inside an SVG. Yeah, let's go. So I'm keeping track of the fact that whether we are inside of an SVG element or not. But somehow we managed to go under, and I don't understand why. Or rather, let me try to reduce this a little bit more. Yes, so the fuzzer really loves going up and down with casing. I think because it sees that that you take a different path in the casing sensitive equal function. But oh well. So here's what I want to do. I wanted to reduce this even more. So what happens if I delete this? Will it still get the bug? Yes. So we can reduce it even more. We keep crashing. So this is enough to crash? Like, what the fuck? I think this can also be eliminated. Although, you know what? No, it shouldn't be this editor to do the change. It should be this one. Yeah, we still crash. Also, this one shows this thing like this. This one can't do it. I don't know what's going on here. So we still crash. Let me also test this in our unit tests. Okay, still crashing. We still crash. Good. Okay. I would say this has been reduced enough. So what's going on here? In theory, this should be fine, right? We enter inside an SVG, we enter inside another SVG, then we exit one, we exit the second, and we should be good. But instead, somehow this goes underflow, which is weird because we actually do increment on the presence of an SVG. So if we see an open tag, yeah, if we see an open tag, so never wait a second, what am I looking at? So switch tag.kind. Oh no, wait, don't we have self utters? Wait a second, no, we don't have self utters. Yeah, maybe SVGs and stuff doesn't increment. That's also what I'm thinking might be the case, but still. So what might be the problem is that we wrongly. Oh, you know what we might be doing? We kinda do not keep track in the right way of the tag name, and so the comparison here fails. But here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. This should not be the case because down here, when we do the decrement, we only actually decrement if this closing tag also gets matched with an SVG tag, so the name should be fine. But anyway, is the input valid UTF-8 or is it UTF-16? Neither. Actually, even according to the spec, it seems that it doesn't even need to be all that valid Unicode. It's a bit weird. Like, you can have null bytes everywhere. I guess technically that would still be valid Unicode, would it? Actually, I'm not sure. Is a null byte valid UTF-8 or UTF something? Well, let's say UTF-8. I'm not sure. In any case, that's not important. That's really not that important. At least with what this tool is supposed to do, which is give you support in an editor. If you're writing a browser, you should care about this stuff more. But in your editor, it's not important. What fuzzer do you use for testing? Does Zig have a built-in fuzzer like in Go? No, but I can use AFL. So I use AFL++. Basically, okay, my testing routine works like this. I showed on stream one way of the way I was doing it before. Now I upgraded to the next level. So here's how it works. I have a C main file that has a bunch of AFL macros in it that basically keep calling my test function in a loop. Yesterday, when I showed my testing setup, it wasn't like this. I had like a pure Zig file, and then basically the process would run start to finish. And then when you wanted to run one test case, and then when you wanted to run a second test case, you would have to spin up a new process. Well, in this case, this has the ability of testing the same process multiple times. Obviously, it's on you to reset the process correctly. Like if you leak memory or if you have like state that survives, well, that's on you. Then you will have introduced a problem. But this works. Like, ignore all the errors. Like, this whole tool chain is weird as fuck. Like, fucking C. But in any case, this works. And if you look at afl.zig, basically gets called in a loop, gets GPA, grabs, this is a C style buffer plus length thing, so it makes a proper slice out of it, calls the AST thing. If there are no errors, tries to render the result, and on exit it frees the AST. Buffer doesn't need to be freed because it gets reused. So this is how my testing stuff works. And basically then you feed this program to AFL, and AFL runs. And by the way, yesterday we were doing, I think, something like 2,000 to 3,000 iterations per second. But with this new system, like previously it was doing 3K, 2 to 3K per second, iterations per second, spawning and spawning a new process every single time. Now, since it can loop, now it goes up. Like right now it's 13K, but it goes up all the way to 20K and past that. So I left this running a night, 9 hours 10 minutes, and it found a few crashes, 286 individual crashes. Although usually when you fix one, you fix more than one, because it sees that different branching was taken to produce a crash. But sometimes the branching is irrelevant. For example, it might consider a different case in, casing of a tag name to be a different case, because you do take a different branch, but the different branch that you take is inside the case insensitive equal function, which is not interesting. So, yeah. But in any case, so this is how it works, and this thing knows when you branch, and so it's able to, inspect the problem space. It's not black box testing. It knows when you branch, so it's really good. And that's AFL, American Fuzzy Loop. If you're assuming it's UTF-8, I'm thinking that some UTF-16 sequence could clash with what you think it's SVG. No, that's impossible. The way UTF works, you can't misinterpret these things that way. Like UTF-16 would have every single intermediate, I forget the name of that thing, nibble maybe? No, not nibble. Well, every single byte that makes up a UTF-16 code point, it would have the upper bit set to 1. So you basically, intermediate bytes inside of a UTF something code point, it never collides with normal ASCII. So it might collide with extended ASCII, but if you're using normal ASCII, which is what, like, A, Z numbers, normal spaces are, like the first 127 characters of ASCII, then you're good. You can never collide. This is a different problem. Okay, so this is my testing infrastructure. I saw some coding work by Unicode people. Well, I wouldn't say it's the Unicode people. The Unicode people are in charge of defining what goes into the Unicode table. So they're the ones who designed the poop emoji. The people who worked on UTF-8, I don't know UTF-16 and company, but the people who work on UTF-8, I think, are different people. Or maybe people it's the Go guys. Plan 9, what is it? Rob Pike, I don't know who else. Maybe people in chat can provide more historical accuracy. But I don't know if they can be considered the same people. I know this is a bit like maybe it's a little bit of a nitpick, but yeah, I have way more respect for the people who worked on UTF-8 than the people working on Unicode. With all due respect for the, I don't know, color-coded rocket astronaut poop emoji that they will eventually introduce, guaranteed. There's it's so cringe, right? You know what the Unicode people do? They do this. They make the emoji movie, and the emoji is it's a thing. Emoji.com, emoji, the iconic brand. Okay, honestly, I don't know how deep is the connection between this stuff and Unicode, but it has to be some, right? Honestly, digging into this stuff probably would reveal so many hilarious, juicy things. But anyway. No, I can't. I'm too busy fuzzing my stuff. Okay, let's add some more login so we can get a feel of what's going on here. So let's print. Okay, we are printing this whenever we are about to map to slot the close tag. Basically, we have a node in our AST that already has an open tag. And now we received a end tag token and we want to close that thing. The emoji movie was created by someone who never uses emojis and thought they were a fad. He had to cash on. As up, this is why it's the fastest made film ever. Well, but I mean, the people working on it, if you're talking about screenwriters and producers, sure. But if emoji itself as an IP is trademarked and owned by somebody who I'm guessing has to have a connection with Unicode as a standard. I don't know exactly what is the nature of the connection, but there has to be some. Then, you know, the people working on the Unicode standard, I can see them not being too deeply involved with the production of the movie. But somewhere, I think there has to be somebody who owns rights to this stuff and who's in the shadows orchestrating shitty movies. Again, not writing them directly, giving basically a mandate to make a movie to a guy who has never used emojis in their life or something like this. I can totally picture that. Think of the Monopoly guy, except there's an emoji image in the one-eyed glass. I forget the English name for that. I think that company just trademarked it before anybody else. That would be hilarious. That's also another hilarious think if that's true. So let's go to the other case. Let's go to where we add. So basically, I guess, okay, here's what we can do. Let's do +1, and then we print, the token location. It's token, right? Yeah. No field name spanning token. Oh shit. Oh, because it's tag. There you go. Hell yeah. And also I have a bunch of instrumentation for this. So I do Zig build, and then I do -d scope equals SVG. Okay, this is interesting. So it's +1, +1, -1, -1. Okay, in my book, this shouldn't be. Oh no. This is not. Wait, no. We printed before doing it, right? So this shouldn't be an underflow. +1, +1, -1, -1. What the heck, man? Okay, I guess. Are we resetting SVG by mistake? Or like creating it in the wrong place? So we define it once outside. We test it. We increase it. We decrease it. And that's it. This is well, this is definitely interesting. Let's print the value, I guess, as well every time we do this, like the previous value. Zero goes to 1, 1 goes to 2. Wait, no. Wait a second. What's going on here? Why does this not say minus? Why this should say -1 starting from 2? Are we really having UB in there? Okay, let's try something. Let's try this. let's print after the fact. Oh, you know what? Oh, never mind. Wait. We're actually not doing the right thing. We should do this. We should only print +1 if we're actually incrementing it. Because, yeah. That, like, to be fair, this might just not be true. Yeah. Okay. So it's like my logging was a little bit sloppy. So let's be better. Okay. Okay. So it's only 1 + 1. This kind of confirms that, like, you know, the easiest suspicion was true. So for some reason, we don't match. Name doesn't match for some reason. Let's move this to dlog so that we can see current name. Let's add also quotes around it so we can match current name with tag. I don't think we need this. Huh. Matching SVG with tag SVG. So this comparison fails. I'm so confused. So no, no, it does not fail. This succeeds, but then this does not succeed. On one you use slice, on the other you use range. Slice and range return completely different types. So I don't think. Why first print column 0 and column 5 and second column 0, column 6? Oh shit. Okay, let's see. So this is the opening SVG. This is, by the way, you need to do +1 on each to obtain, like this is 0 index, your browser, your editor is 1 index. So 0, 5, it's basically 1, 1, 6. So the first SVG tag starts at 0, 0, ends at, 1, 1, ends at 1, 6. Then there's 1 on row 3. That's the second one that we print. And there's 1 on row 6. Well, line 4. So, yes, these are fine. +1, matching, -1, matching. We're not even entering? So you know what? I don't think we need an else branch. I think we need something that says true or false. And maybe we also print if it's SVG or not. Let's see what this leads us. So matching SVG with SVG, they're equals, and yes, it's also. Wait, how are we? Where's the other one? Equals true, SVG true. Where are we not? Okay, so I think that there's like a big problem with this one. How it comes that one? Oh, maybe it's this. Maybe get name fails. Weird. So nothing gets printed. I think you know what we want. I think we want to enable the AST logging scope. Okay, so it has a tag. Starts with a tag, so that's SVG. Then it finds a parse error, unexpected null character. Oh, okay, I understand what's going on. So we are, okay, I get it. We are returning an unexpected null character, and because of that, we are not returning an SVG tag, which is, you know, could be better, could be worse, but like we are kind of forgetting that this SVG tag exists here. So we could improve this, I suspect. Let's see, parse error. unexpected null character. Okay, there's another one. And then what do we get? A tag. It's a star tag. Okay, so no, we do get the star tag then. Attribute name. Why do we know about this attribute name? Why do we know about that attribute name? What are we doing here? Check for duplicated attributes. Okay, so that's why we know about attribute name. Understood. Fine. So this what's weird about this is that I would expect this to save. I mean, this has 100% saved this node. And then we start looking at the end tag. Matching current node. You know what? Let's see what the current node is as an index. Is that a thing? Where do I see the index? Current ID X. ID X. Okay. Now, you know what? Let's start using this one. Oh, fuck. Okay. Close. So we are matching here this node correctly. Ooh, also utter count is wrong, but I don't think it should say 0. But fine, this is not the current problem. I don't think I'm even really using that property much or at all. Okay, so if we are matching if they're matching, then we should also be getting instead of here and instead of here, right? Like if this says equals true and SVG true, then how come we don't enter here or here? Wait, no, we actually do. Wait a second. We actually do. And we do print the -1. In the case of end tag. Oh, snap. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing, basically. We care about... wait. No, this is correct. This is like I found a closing tag and I'm trying to match it. Okay, so and we do print the -1. I guess... okay, the problem is different. The problem is, how come that when we are adding an SVG tag up here, then we don't print the +1? So let's add here some logging. Okay, so this is the problem. This is the problem. Hey, Diagorp. Okay, I found it. I found the place. Where probably the bad stuff happens. And you know what? Let's add, for good measure, let's also add a range thing. So that we are also double sure that we're talking about what we think we're talking about. Oh shit, there's another name. Ah. I guess we can move this up. Whoops, that's not it. Adding no named SVG. This is the first one. Then +1. Then new. Then there's an error, another error, no character, and then there's another start tag. Oh yeah, check this out. That's the problem. Of course, it had to be something like this. So we're basically wrongly thinking, wait, that SVG is this. By the way, this also has to do with the fact that we think that it doesn't have attributes when it does. I think. Or no. We do actually do the attribute count correctly. Oh man, we fuck up the name thing so much. So the problem is that we are in attribute value and we don't know. Okay, I understand now what the problem is. We are in. Actually, let's go in attribute value unquoted. So we're in attribute value unquoted, and we're collecting bytes for this attribute name. And then the tag ends. And so we know that everything ends here. But why do we think that the tag name also ends here? Why did we... Wait. Why do we think that the tag name ends here? Is this the state? Wait, quote single. Oh no. Yeah, so first of all, this is unquoted. That's the whole point of this thing. Yep. Why is the name so wrong? Yeah, look at this. Starts at 7, ends at 22. Yeah, totally borked. The funny thing though is that we're not setting it here, right? We're not even setting it here. Like I expected here that we were wrongly setting the tag name, but we're not. We're inheriting state.name from whoever got us here. Are we updating name anywhere else in here? No. 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 Maybe we're somewhere else. Maybe we're in after attribute value or something. Although we keep setting span.n, we don't set we don't set attribute name. So I think that we need to enable login from the tokenizer, and we need to find this line. We need to find adding node named. We need to find this guy, and then we need to look at what happens between here and here, basically. Well, no, we need to see what happens between, well, I guess what happens before this. I guess between this parse error and this here, we need to see how we get to wrongly thinking that the name is that long, because it is the name, right? I'm not. Oh no, I'm dumb. No, I'm not dumb. Wait, I might be dumb. Oh shit. Name. And then I'm doing +1, but I'm printing the span. Wait, adding node named. Yeah, no. This is the name. Tag name slice. Okay, so it is correct to say that this should be the tag name only, but it ends up being more than just that. So this is clearly like, this contains the wrong value. It should start at 7, yes. Like the span starts at 6, ends at 22, that's fine. This starts at 7, but does not end at 22. Like, how do you even get there? So I was looking at value unquoted, but like how? So yeah, we need to add that logging basically. Well, kind of annoying, but well, you gotta do what you gotta do. So let's see, any changes that I need to save? No. So Zig build, no more scope pruning. We print everything, and now we go through a bunch of logs. No? What happened? Excuse me? Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, this is the thing that I keep, this is the spammy thing. I had commented it out. Okay, now we have the spam. HTML tokenizer, AST, current index 1, parse error, unexpected null character. I think that this is where we start. Either that or the next parse error. There's another parse error, I think. And this is another start tag. Start by the 11 and 21. Wait a second. Oh, okay. So this is state of the tokenizer. And this is, there we go. This is what gets to the AST that then gives us the wrong name. So what happens in the middle there? In the middle there, basically, parse error, SVG +1, adding no named SVG. So this processes, so this is where we process the first SVG, and then we reset the tokenizer into the data state, and we start parsing the second one. So tag open, tag name. We loop tag name 3 times. That's how big the thing is. Data equals void, data equals void. Add char. Tokenizer state HTML. White space only. Tokenizer state tag open. I'm a little bit confused. Oh no, is this the first tag? I think this might be the first tag. Data void, text white space only, tag open. I guess that would be byte 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this is the tag open for the second SVG. Tag name, tag name, tag name before attribute name. And look, the name starts at 7 and ends at 10 correctly. Hey, Thinkering EE, thank you very much for $25 to the Zig Software Foundation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so at this point, we know what the correct end is. And then we switch, then we do attribute before attribute name, then we switch to attribute name. And oh, name is ... That's unfortunate. I wish I could see what this name thing is, and it wasn't deleted. Oh no. Well, hopefully things are not going badly. Name. Oh no, from this moment on, name gets always omitted. So something might have gone wrong in the middle. Let's see if we can get to a point where we like see it again. Oh yeah, and after this process, n has become 22 for some reason. Okay, so here's my theory. My theory, yeah, I could do that, but so I think that my theory is gonna be probably correct. So my theory is basically, as I'm collecting info about the attribute name, I'm wrongly writing it down in the tag name slot. That I think is what's happening. So let's go inside attribute name. And let's take a look at what we're doing in here. Yeah, this is attribute name. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Look at what I'm doing. Oh god, okay. Okay, first of all, let's go in here. So attribute name has name start. After attribute name, so this name, let's rename it in attribute name so that we stop getting confused about this stuff. Okay, and now there's a bunch of yield errors. We're gonna fix them in a moment. So attribute name, we get into after attribute name with attribute name there. Name start. This seems fine. Okay, you know what? Actually, this is correct. attribute name, attribute name. Break. This is all fine actually. So it's in a state, it's in a deeper state that we mess up. What happens when we find this? We move into after attribute name. In after attribute name, tag, state tag. Shit, there you go. This is the bug. This is the bug here. And you know what we can put here? A nice assert. We assert that tag name has always been set. And if I'm wrong about this, then it means that there needs to be more complicated logic. So I guess sometimes we should be the ones setting it, sometimes we should not be the ones setting it. But the fuzzer will tell me. So the fuzzer will tell me, well, you know what, we can even do this. If this trips, then sometimes, then if and also this is state.tag.name. Hello, Dolary. Okay, seems that we're good. And we have a correct unexpected null character. We don't crash anymore. So, problem solved. Whew! Okay, so we fixed this. Now, here's what I'm gonna do next. I'm going to build the fuzzer tools again from the updated code. Perfect. So now here's the problem. The problem is that I have a ton of crashes that the fuzzer found the last time. But as I fix bugs, a ton of them don't reproduce anymore. Like I fix them. So here's what I do. I have this executable. It's a like I have two fuzzing related executables. One is this one, super fuzz. You can't see it is behind me, but it's called super fuzz. When I invoke that one can be invoked on individual files, and so that way, basically with this bash one-liner, basically it tries all of them and it tells me if and it stops when it finds one that crashes. And guess what? It tried all of them and none of them crashes anymore. So we fixed all the bugs found by this run of AFL. So I guess it's time for a new run. Man, this is so good. 26k, 27k. Holy shit. Nice. I finished the Ziglings a week ago and I started reading your implementation for Super HTML. Currently, I'm struggling with some of the concepts of going close to the hour. Do you have some resources for understanding the allocator stuff? Let me think. So the resources that I can think of are Zig Guide, Learning Zig. So Zig Guide should have a section about allocations. Yeah, allocators. So this gives you an introduction. Learning Zig should have something about this, I guess. Heap memory and allocators. I think this should be nice. Then by the way, I'm not linking this because you can find them in the learn section of the official Zig site, right? So that's fairly trivial. I'll link you this other thing instead. Oh, what's a memory allocator anyway? Okay, so this is a old but gold talk from Benjamin Feng, who gave it on Zig Showtime, and it basically tells you what an allocator is inside. So I don't know if, you know, these are like all in the ballpark of what you're asking. It is not guaranteed that these are gonna be an exact answer of what you need, right? Because I guess the point is that you're trying to find information in the general space, but then to get a full understanding, like a concrete understanding, maybe you need something that answers a specific question in your mind. I would also recommend to try and like write code that has to use allocators so that you also get an idea. But oh man, there's another resource that I keep forgetting. Maybe somebody here in chat can link it. Do you remember it's the GitHub gist where somebody shows how pointers work using nice ASCII art? There we go. Found it. I love this one. Oh, there you go. Yep, that's the one. Thank you, Andrew. This is so good. So I guess my point is that part of what might be a question for you with regards to allocators might not be really about allocators as much as it is about how memory looks like when you're using pointers and when you can, you could represent the same thing in multiple ways. So for example, you could have, I don't know, like an array where you have a contiguous memory where all elements are one after the other, or you could have a linked list, or you could have some weird in between. So yeah, this is a resource that might help with that. For example, I wanted to write a simple CLI tool and was wondering how to organize the CLI arguments. Well, the CLI arguments, generally speaking, you don't have much of a choice in the sense that usually you receive them as an array of strings. So they look like something like, let's see if there's an example of that here. There's no super direct example. For example, using Rust, I felt like the mental model of the borrow checker was easier to grasp coming from a higher language. I think the problem is that the borrow checker model is a abstraction that kinda hides the actual memory layout from you compared to what you do in Zig. Sorry, let me put it this way. By the way, I'm not a Rust programmer. I've written, I don't know, 200 lines of Rust in all my life. So I cannot give you a, properly balanced and super nuanced take on what Rust offers you. But I can tell you that the way the borrow checker works is not how your computer works. There's a connection. The borrow checker isn't there to annoy you. It's also there to make sure, well, it's not there only to annoy you. It's also there to make sure that you use memory correctly. But what the borrow checker will lead you to do is use memory layout, is use a subset of possible correct memory layouts. So there are other memory layouts that are hard to implement with the borrow checker that you probably never even considered a thing. Like, I guess my point is that when you are writing Rust, unless you already know this perspective, Rust will not make you fully face the question of how do I organize my data in memory. And so I guess my point is that, yes, it's kind of like when Neo is brought out of the Matrix for the first time, right? It's like, oh no, my eyes hurt. And yes, my dude, it's because you never use them. This is a design muscle that you probably never had to really exercise in Rust either. So yeah, it's growing pains. But yeah, look, you can get there. It's not super hard. My recommendation would be code. Write some code and see where that leads you. By the way, I think in the Fuzzer, I don't know. I feel like this guy is gonna have a hard time. The fact that I left it on an entire night and all it found was crashes related to what we just fixed might very well be that there are no more crashes for it to find. Keep in mind, that doesn't mean that there are no more bugs in the code. It just means that the bugs that we might have do not lead to a crash. So maybe we do parse something wrongly. Maybe somewhere else we do also match wrongly our tags. But anyway, I'm also surprised about the way this bug manifested the first time, honestly. I watched the data-oriented design talks by Andrew and the C++ guy on the weekend, and the statement that the hardware is the platform is basically what I'm struggling with. Yeah, I would say also, don't fret it. Like, I would say that you should not, well, okay, you do you. What I suspect, what my opinion might not exactly work for you as well as I think it might. So, starting from that, what I would suggest is don't aim for data-oriented design right away. Data-oriented design introduces a ton of annoyance. I can promise you, programming with pointers is much easier than programming with freaking indices into arrays. There's a ton of very annoying shit that comes from that. So my heartfelt recommendation is start with pointers. Make sure you get in some good practice that doesn't put, you know, too much friction in front of you getting stuff done. And then once you master that way of doing things, then start exploring data-oriented design stuff. For example, when I was implementing my my templating language parser, I implemented it using pointers because it was like a new experience for me, and I wanted to focus all my energy on iterating the basic design, and I didn't want to focus on messing around with indices that much. And so my first implementation of the template parser is has nodes that are like allocated on the heap and point to one another. Only recently I rewrote it to basically put all nodes inside of an array and use indices, etc., etc. But man, that made a lot of things more complicated. So my recommendation is aim for that. That should be your goal, but don't fret it. Like don't overdo it. Like work there incrementally. Start with pointers. Thinking about data layout and allocation patterns before you know what your code even needs to do is premature optimization once you actually try to solve a problem, and it's never as simple as it first seemed. Yeah, I think that, you know, once you get used to it, you can make educated guesses and mostly be fine. But if you're learning, yeah, I would really say DoD stuff is kind of hard. Going from 0 to DoD is kind of hard. Like you really probably want to stop in the middle. And keep in mind, you can always refactor something to go from pointers to DoD if it makes sense to do so. So, yeah. Okay, I suspect that this fuzzer is not gonna be able to find anything good anytime soon. So I think we're good here. I think for now, I'm winning against the fuzzer. I'm winning against the fuzzer. So what do we do next then, I guess? Well, so we got unit tests to green up until here, but I really haven't touched any of the template interpreter code at all. I turned off its unit tests. I turned everything off. It still depends on freaking sitter. So it still has a dependency on sitter. It still has my old assert function. So when I was developing this, there was a problem in the code that generated stack traces or something related to those on ARM, and it would give me infinite loops. Like every time basically a assert triggered, it would loop infinitely to print the stack trace, and it would never end printing the stack trace. So I had to basically turn those. I started using my own assert. That was like kind of sad because it requires you to pass in at source, and then it would just print and exit. But at least I would see, you know, at least I would get one line that was useful. Not the stack trace, well, not the arrow trace, whatever stack trace in this case. But at least I could see which assert triggered. So we can do this. Do I even have tests for this guy? Oh, it's not in template, right? It's in what, VM? How do I call it? AST CLI fuzz, HTML root was mirrors, fuzz sitter. I should just delete sitter at this point. I have template. Oh, it's interpreter. Right. That's interpreter. It's the super VM. It's the super virtual machine that comes with a scripty virtual machine. Oh, that's so funny. Nice. Does this guy depend on Zither? Please tell me it doesn't. Oh, whew, it does not. Thank fucking God. Thing is, there's a ton of templating, of error reporting that's gonna need to be refactored. Is it time to fuzz super and not just HTML? Ooh, yeah, maybe it's also time to do that. But you know what though? What I'm thinking is that to fuzz super correctly, I think we need to I don't know. I think we would need to maybe engineer things in a better way. But you know what? Before I can start fuzzing even without re-engineering shit. Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's extend the scope of our fuzzing. So we run the AST. We call the renderer. And then we try to build a super AST. And that's kind of it. For now, we don't have anything better to do with it. Would be nice to tell the fuzzer that we really care about getting here. But yeah, we can totally do it. Oh, we can't try in here, can we? We can catch unreachable though. What's the problem? Oh, I'm dumb. Does the render not error line 15? Does the render not error? Holy shit! I have no idea, man. That's a great point. What the heck? Is the error set empty? Might be. It does try write all. Oh yeah, okay, so I get it. Yes, what's happening is that the only errors that we return are the errors from the writer, and the null writer never errors out. Huh. What a thing. Oh, right. We need at least one example that does not crash. It is indeed a fair point. And for that, we also need to do this. There we go. We cannot build a super AST if there are errors in the HTML. I think it even asserts that, right? Yeah. Oh, shit. Aha. First of all, we need that. I guess it doesn't do any assert about errors being present in the HTML. You know what? Let's run it. Let's see what happens. I guess. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, maybe we should avoid this. As a starting point, maybe we should expect, we should demand for the thing to become correct. Okay. Well, okay, so this is going. In the meantime, what we can do is, as I was saying, continue our work. Yeah, AFL is fucking awesome. Dude, you know what? This is what I tweeted earlier. So, small brain, run your program manually and see if it works. Bigger brain, write unit tests so that your exploration is reproducible and can be tested out, can be done automatically. Much better, have a fuzzer come up with test cases so that you don't have to do that manually, and then write them down as more unit tests. But what's even better, the betterest is, like, I've been doing some of this, like I've added some fuzz, some cases found by the fuzzer. I've added them as unit tests, but like adding every single one of these things as unit tests, I don't know. I feel like it's not all that useful. But man, the best thing is like you just fuck unit tests. Like add some things that you cannot test with the fuzzer. Obviously, you write unit tests for, but man, just add more assertions. Like earlier, as I was editing things, right? Like this thing is mind blowing. Tokenizer. Yeah. Where is it? This is not the one that I added myself, I think. Yeah, there you go. Here, I was saying, oh, you know what? I was wrongly setting the tag name end. But maybe sometimes it is correct. Maybe it wasn't a complete bug. Maybe it's only a bug sometimes. Some other times we somehow land in here and we need to be the ones setting these ourselves. And so, you know what? Instead of like reasoning, instead of thinking, like why think when you can just assert and then have AFL do the hard work of proving you wrong? So ultimately, it's like asserts are the next level version of unit tests, quote unquote. Obviously, this is not a universal truth. Unit tests still useful, but holy shit, this thing. Ooh, and we got one crash. Nice. Why think when you can fuzz? Okay, let's see what people are saying on. What clown converts fuzzes to unit tests? Uh-oh. Straight to integration, baby. Oh, man. So good. So good. Ooh, second crash found. Okay. Yeah, let's leave AFL to cook. We keep working on our integration stuff. So let's finally kill Sitter. Oh, you know what though? No, it's too early. I need to wait before killing Sitter because other things might depend on functionality that I haven't ported yet from Sitter. So let's get into template, remove it from here. I think we also want to remove the dependency on errors because I think that now we want a different form of error reporting. So let me think about it for a brief moment. You know what we could do in alternative? We could improve the error reporting from the lower levels. Right now we just report like the enum name, which is good, but we could do better. Let's see. Diego says, I've just started tackling. I just started to tackle this problem, CLI args, in a very rudimentary way. Maybe you can learn from my mistakes. Let's take a look. By the way, these streams are also for chatting about this stuff. Like, obviously, there are limits to the complexity of stuff that I can read on stream, but for sure. Okay, so your problem is that you want to do like processing of arguments yourself, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Interpreter options, pre-process arguments, process CND arguments, bunch of tests. Okay, so this is a function that gets called by main. Interpreter options are help, file, eval. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, Diego. If you add a trailing comma, you can have the auto formatter move this stuff vertically. Like, I don't know, maybe you're fine with a super long line, but in case you want to collaborate with other people that might care about this stuff more, that's how you do it. I'm gonna paste this into a file so I can read it more properly. Okay, so interpreter options: help, bool, file, eval, verbose, size, dyna, input, deck, always flush, buffered out. Okay, interesting. I'm using VS Code with the extension. Okay, you need a trailing comma to have the thing do the formatting for you. So nice. So this is the equivalent, I guess. Let me think of an interesting example. I guess Super HTML has a CLI component, but it's fairly simplified. So the way I do it is that what you call... So I start... Okay, so here's how I start. In my case, I have subcommands. So the way I do it is that first I parse the subcommand. So I get the argument list from std.process. I look at the first one and I call std string to enum. So basically I'm saying, does the first command map, is it like one of these three guys as strings? If it's not, we error out. If it is, then based on what it is, we decide which thing to call. So and then FMT I think has, oh sorry, and then yeah, we select we want to call, and then look, I pass down the the remaining arguments. So I take out the executable name and the subcommand here. So let's get into fmt.run. So this guy has this as setting. So it's a struct. It can have check. It can have mode. Mode is a union enum, so it's either stdin super, or a list of paths, right? Because it's a formatter, so it can be called on a bunch of files, or it can be called on standard. It could be called in a way that it expects the code to be typed in from standard input. That's how, for example, you would use it from a text editor. Yeah, and then I do a bunch of checking. And as I do the checking, I set the state into the command. I guess my only point, which is not really shown here, let me go up. Let's go into Ziggy. Ziggy has the same structure, by the way. Commands can be LSP, query, FMT, check, convert, help. And I think convert is probably the fancier one. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. My command is to schema, replace, dry run, force, ignore schema errors, mode, blah, 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 paths, blah, 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 blah. And then there's this parse function that accepts the remaining arguments. Yeah. Okay, so this is very similar. Let's see. Given a set of command line arguments, validate it matching the following patterns. Options passed without values are stored as an entry. And v equals null, e.g. -- help. Options with values following the pattern option name equal blah blah blah. Okay. Oh, you're trying to find -- equal IDX. Given a map of arguments and values, fill interpreter options. I see. Yeah, I'm doing more of a, like, I'm quote unquote interpreting. Like you're doing 2 steps. I'm not doing those 2 steps. Yeah, because you're basically, you need to, if you do it like this, you need to have a temporary thing, right? Yeah. I mean, you know, if you want to get fancy and say, well, I could skip this, you could do it. Obviously, you could do it kind of the way I do it, for example. Not that it matters all that much, but yeah, that's cool. I think that's fine. If you write a bunch of these things, like for example, in my case, I don't have this abstracted as a library, so I'm basically writing a parser for CLI arguments every time I need one. Then maybe like using kind of this approach helps a little bit because it's less code, I think. Right, and as I receive things, I set the state, and then I have a bunch of checking at the end. So I say, okay, well, if there are some, if you pass in files and you said that it's Ziggy type, then if you pass one of the other things, it's an error because they're supposed to be mutually exclusive. Blah 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 blah. Same with the other constraints. I do think that it's kind of nice, though. It's a very minor thing, but I do think it's kind of nice that you're able to do this. Like try command.parse. It's kind of nice. Anyway, it's a minor thing. I think your approach is perfectly reasonable. So what's interesting, though, I feel like the most interesting thing is you can see how this and this are somewhat related representations of your command line arguments. This one is more strict, right, and less flexible than this one. And I guess what you can see is that because, like, if your end goal is to put your stuff into something more strict and well-defined, then you do not necessarily need this. While if instead, for some reason, you have like a CLI that has to accept arbitrary arguments, then yeah, you would have, like, this would have to be kind of your end final thing to some degree. But if you want to avoid an allocator, like, you could remove your dependency on the allocator if you went instead straight into this. Also, going straight into this is one way of doing it. Some other times you will want to have an intermediate thing that isn't the final output. I don't know if I ever do it in here. Let me see for a moment. Well, okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. So I guess, okay, my point is, What is the code viewer program? You mean Helix? It's a text editor. So I guess my point is here here you're going from something like this into this, but you could also skip this and go straight into this. That said, sometimes going through something intermediate is not wrong. For example, my final here, I have paths somewhere. Where is it? I have these paths that are like lists of strings, well, slices of strings. But then I don't immediately put things in this format, because as I'm collecting these things, I need to have a growable array. So instead of managing manually this type, which is an annoying type to manage manually, instead I store them temporarily into array lists. And then, because the array list allows you to append more easily, but which, by the way, like an array list is internally managing a slice. So it's just doing work for you, but it's not like it's basically, I guess, saving you from having to write a bunch of boilerplate. And my point is that and also look at this. For example, for these things, I have local variables that mirror these guys, but they also have one extra property. They can also be null to indicate that the setting was not seen yet. And I think that's important. So I guess my suggestion that said to maybe consider going from like skipping this and going directly into this. Keep in mind that doesn't mean that you won't always be able to do it like directly into here, because for example, I don't know, let's see, something like honestly, okay, I cannot think of a example that I'm sure will be correct, but I guess my point is that sometimes it's going to be hard to distinguish between something being set to a value or something not having been passed in or at all, or like you not having seen that flag yet. And so here basically I have a slightly more complicated version, right, of these things, where replace is not just a bool, but it's an optional bool, so that I can tell if it was set to true, if it was set to false, or if it was not set yet. And so then I go from this to this at the end. Like at the end, after I've done all my processing, all my checking, blah blah blah, then all these things get passed in. Things that can have default values get set the default value if the thing was not passed in, and things that are not supposed to, like things that are mandatory, instead I manage explicitly. In any case. Oh shit. Sorry. I need to go investigate. They haven't made they haven't made a thing yet for it. No news yet. Yeah. Also, unfortunately, I'm on a fork. Let's see, did they put anything in the GitHub release? Oh yeah, 2 days ago. Changelog. Is this the delicious auto-generated changelog from GitHub? Oh, hell yeah. No. Features. Add a text object or entry elements of list-like things. Okay. Add a picker showing files changed in version control. Use a temporary file for writes. Allow cycling through LSP signature help signatures with ANAP. Use receiver when finding matching brackets and closest pairs. Autosave all buffers after a delay. Select all siblings. AA. Select all siblings of each selection. Select all children. Read. Insert the contents of the given file in at each selection. Okay. Only use Helix for viewing or coding also? Also for coding. Support scrolling pop-up contents using the mouse. Holy shit. Sort the jump list picker so the most recent items come first. Go to file. Improve positioning of pop-ups. Okay, well, fixes, I don't know. Okay. There's also a work in progress flow editor made in Zig. Oh, I know. Neurosite works on it. Yeah. I want to try it at some point. Right now, I'm not at a point where I feel like fuzzing with my editing stuff. As in like changing stuff. Git pull. We have changes in here. Oh shit. Oh shit. So the issues made a ton of changes, huh? Well, no. Oh, really? Maybe contributing has server book. No, they have it somewhere else. I forget what the command is. Oh yeah, I think this is it. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, I actually had it. Fuck. I was just using the wrong command. Thank you. Well, it's wrong sub command to cargo. Great. Oh shit, this is killing my computer. AFL, how's it going? 14 crashes. Okay, I would say AFL has done a good job. We can investigate those later. I'm pretty new to using this text editor for coding. How do you get the suggestions in it for a certain language in IDEs? Yes, you want to set up your language servers. The official website has information on how to do all this stuff. Yeah, just CPU usage percentage is just 1000%. As one does. Okay, so it's still a 24v30. So I guess Earth file, GraphQL, JSON, TCL, TOML, bunch of TOML stuff. Actually, Helix View, we don't even care, right? Helix VCS, I don't think we even care much. Oh well. Is it hot? Oh yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Okay, done with my Helix moment. Let's go back to the main programming. Okay, so yeah, this all looks good. So do we keep converting these or do we fix errors? You know what? Let's convert this. Also, what are people saying on YouTube? Let's see. To Nathan Frank, I really wanted to like Helix, but recently got started with Zed with Vim controls, and I'm happier with the old school Vim controls plus the smooth IDE experience. Good for you. I never could get into Vim keybinds. They're so fucking weird. And I'm at some point I learned some, but man, the ones in Helix make so much more sense. It's like, oh, you have, I don't know, you have G for go to mode. And what do you find in go to mode? Like a bunch of things that allow you to go to things. Press G in Vim. Holy shit. It's like an endless amount of things. Like, it's not even that. Like this, I guess, fine. But like for me, it's not even that. It's like, okay, G is for fucking go to. And so you go to things with G, not go to, but also these other 5 things. So yeah. Zed is the way to go. There were some discussions about Zed in the Software You Can Love Discord server. Some... Let's see. Oh, probably wasn't in here. It might have been a discussion in general. But basically, the general idea was... Some of the comments were... Yes, Zed is cool. Some others were... Well... Zed takes venture capital... And Zed took venture capital and they're like focusing on freaking AI that, with all due respect, I would say sucks major ass. Like, sure, you can get some utility out of it, but like it's mostly, I don't know. Anytime you're doing something important, I suspect this thing leaves you in the dirt or to fend for yourself. Like as I was implementing the HTML standard, most of it's like trivial as fuck. But then there's a piece, a part of it that is like fucking insane. So like, it's basically what this, okay, look at this thing that I'm selecting. This looks like a comment that contains script tags. And you don't think much of it. And you think, oh, it's a comment, and that it happens to contain script tags. No, turns out that this is a thing, and this is a thing. Like they're one thing. And basically, if you ever wondered about talking about the beauty of HTML, if you ever wondered what happens if you put verbatim /script inside of a script, inside of a like JavaScript string, right? By the way, a bunch of people that I spoke to implicitly assumed that the HTML parser was like string quoting aware, and even if it didn't understand JavaScript much, it would at least understand strings and consider what's inside strings as a string. But no, it doesn't. So normally, if you put /script inside a script, you close the script early. So basically, normally, imagine that there aren't comment-like tokens. Bytes. Imagine that you have those aren't here, and you write something like this. This is where your script starts. This is where your script ends. This becomes plain text. And so they designed this weird way of basically putting comments in the mix to allow you to put verbatim closing script tag inside of your script source code. It's such a weird thing. This is like super old, because apparently people did this like in the equivalent of Middle Ages for JavaScript. People were doing basically stuff like this to make it work with browsers that didn't implement JavaScript yet, and so to prevent the browser basically from printing the JavaScript source code verbatim. And it's still there in the freaking standard. So it's still there. Guess what? This was the one thing where I needed somebody to help me understand what's going on. And this is also the one thing where ChatGPT completely confidently hallucinated what this is supposed to look like, and in a very shitty way. Also, you know what's funny? So you look at this website, and this website has a bunch of explanations, has this nice list that lists all the script data related states. Some have really funny names, like script data escaped dash dash, script data double escaped dash dash. But anyway, it lists all of this stuff, and then it gives you like a good explanation and some historical digging on why this is like this. You look at ChatGPT. In ChatGPT, and ChatGPT comes up with the same nice list of states, but then it completely goes out of whack. And so it comes and says, like, var nested script inside a string. The script sequence appears to end the script, but is part of a string. No, man. This script thing appears to be part of a string, but it actually ends the script. This splits the script tag across concatenated strings, requiring the tokenizer to correctly process the split parts. Like, it completely goes out of whack, and it has no idea how this thing is supposed to work. So they're like focusing on AI, as one does if you get venture capital. Also, well, I actually don't want download. I want GitHub. Where's GitHub? GitHub. Also, I was looking at how they do language servers, and well, first of all, some people are also pointing out that Zed is a Rust project, and as such, you know, it comes with a tiny little bit of baggage in the form of dependencies. I mean, it's a big project. It makes sense for it to have dependencies. There's a lot of dependencies, though. And I don't know, are those all the type of dependencies that you would want in your editor? It depends on what you want, right? So, for example, they have a Zig extension. The Zig extension, you go read the source code, and what it does is that, like, it basically wants ZLS, spins up ZLS, language protocol stuff. Cool. But let's take a look at HTML. So for HTML, they use the, first of all, fucking god awful VS Code language servers extracted thing. I fucking hate that thing. This is the one that borks your pre-tags, but also, or well, doesn't do, and borks your pre-tags and then doesn't do anything other than that. But also, you see that it says node modules. Zed, by the way, because this language server is implemented in TypeScript. So you go look at the dependencies and not lock. Let's just look at the top level ones, and you will find node runtime. So Zed spins up a node runtime so that it can run TypeScript language servers. I don't know. I feel like, honestly, if it were for me, I would hope that they would aim for like something better than this. Like, TypeScript language servers suck. They're slow as fuck. Like the entire every time I speak with somebody who is using language servers for like JavaScript and like that ecosystem, they all complain that the language server is slow. The other day I was watching a YouTube streamer. Sorry, a Twitch streamer, he was doing Svelte, and yeah, he was saying, yeah, there's a language server, but it shells out to Prettier, and it shells out to TSC, and it shells out to, it's implemented in TypeScript, and it shells out to all these things, including also the Svelte compiler. And it's like it shells out to all these three things, and then it's slow as fuck. I don't know. So I guess Zed is like, it's an interesting project. There's lots to love about it. There's some to be worried about too, though. I hope that they do well enough so that they can, you know, just ride the VC money and be cool from here to forever. But the, you know, inevitable eventual enshittification caused by, you know, having made a deal with people that give you a bunch of money with the intent to eventually get more money back, it does tend to lead you to focusing on the wrong thing and like distorting the engineering. For example, I would say that a project that is more focused on quality would maybe not want to depend on the entire node runtime. That said, they have a Linux version. And of course, the journey isn't over yet. We'd love your help, particularly if you're excited about helping bring them to your distro, debugging. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah. Okay, let's get this thing compiling. Come on. Let's see. Is errors fine as is? I don't think errors is fine as is. I think we need to remove also our dependency on errors. AST used to depend on errors. Oh, it still depends on errors. How so? Go to references. Error writer, fatal, report error, fatal, and diagnostic. But diagnostic is not used by anybody, is it? And I think report error is also not used by anybody, is it? And I bet you that also fatal is not used by anybody. Yep. We moved to a completely different error reporting model. Okay, so long story short, we want to remove errors as well from here. Oof, that's gonna be some refactoring. Okay. Let's start with the sitter stuff. So eval var. This is evaluating. This is the template being asked to evaluate a var. I think eval var should be renamed. But whatever, not now. So error writer, we don't care about error writer anymore. Attribute name. Attribute name, I guess it's not a sitter node anymore, but now it's a span. And we need to import span. What else is in there that we might want? Line, range, language, maybe. I don't know. Well, we'll do it as needed. Okay, so attribute name is a span. Right. So now what do we do? Because so a runtime error, if we get a runtime error, we want to stop for sure. There is no discussion at all that if there is a runtime error, we just want to print it and leave. Accumulating those, there is no point. You know what? This is making me change my mind about errors, the error writer stuff. So sitter has to go for sure. But we might want to keep the same error reporting model. Yeah. Because for LSPs and company, we want to accumulate errors. We want to be error resilient. But like for runtime stuff, there's nothing to be resilient about. That's true, but you don't have to sign in for the AI stuff. But who knows how sure it will stay? Yeah, we'll see. Scripty scripts are too short to bother with recover. Yeah, I mean, you know what? One thing that we're not doing right now is pre-parsing scripty scripts. Like we could, as part of the work to build a template AST, we could keep in there a scripty AST for the scripty thing, or like validate the scripty string. And those validations probably would also those would be good validations to buffer and push forward as part of the original parsing process. But like, yeah, at runtime, if at runtime the scripty thing returns an error because of a runtime condition, that's where you stop. So yeah. Okay, so let's try to do this. Ah, whatever. Sit there. Comes a span. Oh, we got rid of errors. Maybe we want to keep that. Add node span. Yeah, that works for me. Or, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so how do we start getting some better errors from this guy? Well, for example, evalvar wanted script author name because it passes it down to report error, and now report error accepts it as a span, and then errors.report accepts it as a span, and then calls diagnostic, which accepts it as a span, and then it does span range line thing. This is actually good. Like, I remember fixing this thing in the past, so I guess this kind of keeps working. I'm honestly flabbergasted that we are at this point already. Also, this thing doesn't have tasks because I guess the tasks are inside interpreter. Right? Right? Or maybe not. I guess why have tests when you can, well, not have tests, I guess. I guess at this point we can kind of see if it works, I guess. Oh, there you go. We do have an error. Super 3. ZLS is amazing. No tests, no errors. Agreed, right? So we build, but we're not really leveraging, we're not really using these things because these things are like a library. So there needs to be either test cases or like a function that an executable that basically looks into this stuff. So here's what we can do. Now we can go up. We can go into Zing. We can look at the zone file. We can make super become super HTML. Path is our local directory. Yeah, I guess we can just call it super in there, whatever. Is it actually called super HTML in here? I think the module should be called super HTML as well. Yeah, let's not confuse people, just... Yeah, I think calling it colloquially super, it's fine. Okay, so in theory now Zin is wired to the new super. And now, if I go on my website, and I change my website to use a local checkout of Zin, why are you not using Zig check as you recommended? What makes you think that I'm not? I am. Are you saying while here, why I wasn't seeing errors in as I was editing the super HTML build file? The reason why this was not showing me errors is because of a problem with Helix. Helix only shows you diagnostics in the file that you're in. If a diagnostic is an error inside of another file, you have to open that file to see it. There's nothing that tells you that or I don't know, maybe D will show you. But in general, you know what? We can test this. Oh, also, you know what? Here's another problem. I think my the other problem is that right now my build step that's being invoked by ZLS is test. Oh. Not checked. Let's see. Okay, that works. Now the problem is that if I'm inside build, I don't see the error. Like, you can only see errors if you open the corresponding file. So it was a combo of these two things. Okay. So my website is now using Zin from the local checkout. My local checkout of Zin is using super HTML from the local checkout. Zig build serve. Oh, we crashed good. With 1 compilation errors. Zin source layout.zig. Oh shit. Well, talking about errors being in other files than one that you have open. So let's search in this project super in quotes. Okay, thankfully it's just 2 files. Okay. There are other things that probably depend on super, maybe? Error. File exists in multiple modules. Root of module script is 0. So here we don't depend on any scripty. Here we depend on scripty on a version that has been deployed. Is this really it? Main Zig. Huh. How can it be multiple things? So this is the same directory. Yes, it's the same file. Root of module script is 0, root of module scripty. Somehow we end up with more than one scripty in the mix. Why? Not because of this guy, not because of this guy, not because of this guy. Right? Actually, I need to double check that. Yeah, not because of this guy. So we're good. Front matter should be fine. Depends on Ziggy. Doesn't depend on anything else. WS doesn't, MIME doesn't, GFM doesn't. So it's a super HTML thing somehow? How though? So the build.zig file is kind of complicated in here, to be fair. That's the only dependency it has. Let's see other mentions of scripty. There's a scripty release that gets added to super release. Maybe this is the problem? That seems weird though. Okay, what if we do this? It's in script is build.zig. What did I do wrong on line 19? Oh wait, is the one online different than this one? No. What do you think is wrong about this unit test stuff? Oh, I get it. Okay, it's this and this. Right. Well, shit. Yeah. You need to add that module to it probably. Oh, you're right. That's the problem. Right. I don't need to change anything. Wait. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay, so now we can go into super. Grab the new scripty. See how it works now. Oops. File exists in multiple modules. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, wait a second. So the test build root struct of things types doesn't have. Okay, so let's get this working, I guess. Import types.zig. What is types missing? Has no member named string. Oh shit. Test value. Types.string. Well, where did types.string go? I don't remember what this thing was doing. So this is our union of all possible values, and we have a dedicated string type that kinda got nuked. It used to be in types, and it's not there anymore. Because now we have only default dot and default call. What does zin do? Because it just does not have a string to type, does it? I guess we want to see values. String is just a slice, constituent. Okay, I guess that's kind of what we're supposed to do here. I don't remember if I have wired in all the build things as I should, but well, we'll see, I guess. Oh, must free. Okay, it's that thing. 315, 340. Okay, you know what? Probably having that string type is not a bad idea. I don't know why I got rid of it, but fine. So that was one. The other one was 239. Okay, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that I should return. I should re-implement it somehow. Okay, let's see why it got lost. Also, where's my music? Oh, snap. It's not here anymore. Right. Right. This guy was inside of Zine up until very recently. I guess I want to see types. Okay, by then we had already deleted this. Yeah, so basically we kind of regressed scripted tests a long time ago, and then we never bothered fixing them. Ah, that's so annoying. Okay. I guess either way we have to do this. You know what? Might as well also do this. Okay. Did we fix this? No, we did not. Now we have an error in types. No field or member function name call in oh man. Interpreter test value. So there is no function called call inside test value. Okay. Well, actually, yes, there is. What's your problem, man? Freak. I'm not sure what my metaprogramming... It's been a while since I last did this type of metaprogramming, and I don't remember anything anymore about it. And it gets pretty wild at some points. So no field or member function name call. So this is saying that this is already a function. Huh? So, you know what? I should probably try to see what's causing this to trigger. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to easily, am I? What if I do f reference trace? Test built-in interpreter 328. Page title len. No, but that's not it. The problem is okay, so if it's a string, we put this there. Yes. We have built-ins for string has string built-ins. Which accepts as the first argument a string, a GPA, and then args. I'm actually surprised. Why was this accepting a slice immediately and not from string literal? From number literal, okay. Okay, I think I'm slowly starting to get back with the program. So the problem is that we have an error here. Because we're trying to call. Okay, let's see. We find built-ins for this type of attribute. And then... Oh, okay. And then we expect it to be a struct. That's what default call does. Okay, so it says line else v tag. So we switch on self, which is a value. So we call default tag. Sorry, we call default call on test value. Test value it's a union of these possible cases. And it says, for each one of these things, global, site, page, and company, grab its built-in. And for each... Oh, there we go. Okay, I get it. Oh my god, it took me a while. Now I get it. The problem is that this is implemented as a function. This should not be implemented as a function. I changed this format, like I enhanced it dramatically over time. So if we look at this, like const len you will see that now this is what a built-in looks like. It's not a function anymore. Now it's a decal that contains a bunch of information like signature, returns an integer, blah blah blah, and then it has a call function in it. There you go. Oh yeah, actually, where is signature coming from? Oh god, where did that stuff go? Is in docgen, which is inside Zine. Oh no, docgen is inside Zine. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, you know what? Here in our test case, doesn't matter. We don't care about signature. We don't care about these things. We only care about test value. There we go. Okay, now test pass. But we still have this weird problem here. Okay, in order. We depend on local Zine. That's good. Local Zine depends on local super HTML. And wait a second. Right, I depend on super HTML and I grab scripty from super HTML. I grab scripty from super HTML. And this depends on... Did I not push scripty? Well, I can also add the latest changes. Git push. Could it be that this guy didn't download the latest script? Okay, you know what? Here's how we solved it. Local scripty. That's it. Okay, let's see what happens now. Yeah. Scripty file not found. Oh, scripty? File exists in multiple modules. Still. Huh. That's a bit weird. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what's doing this. Also, wait a second, because I think I might have done something wrong. Let's see. What do we do in scripty? I mean, what if I comment out my unit tests completely? No more test step, no nothing. Just scripty. Would this be okay? Apparently, yes, it would. Or no, it wouldn't. Invalid option, the CPU, the target, the optimize. Okay, so I guess we kind of got deeper. Dependency scripty release mode. Huh. Right, this now changed because it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, I'm starting to understand quite a few things, actually. We don't need super release. Super is fine. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Well, we solved it. Now we have a different problem. Root struct of file AST has no member named supernode. There. Template.zig. Yeah. Super cursor. Shit, we still have that one. Please, let's just call it a cursor. Template 35. Specific arguments found 5. Okay, so there's now integration that needs to happen. So basically, we are now finally seeing these errors. These errors are finally surfacing. So I'm gonna move this here and iterate a little bit. That's unfortunate. That if I had better tests, then we would discover this from tests and not through other means. But whatever. So interpreter.zig 285. GPA, HTML AST, source. Load template. Right, we didn't care about template name and stuff. We might want to include this stuff in here. Oh, wait a second. Maybe this is actually it. Wait, is template a type? It is a type. Well, fuck, it does have this info. Why is it even in the AST in the first place? Wait. Wait. Okay, let's not do this anymore. Why is this stuff... Why is this stuff passed in here? Well, it can be passed in here instead. Yeah, that seems so much better, man. This is where this thing should go. Holy shit, yes. Oof, also this expects old 3. New 3 is completely freaking different. Oof, that hurts. Actually, you know what? Path name source is not a bad combo. This is not in here anymore, is it? Man, this is gonna be so painful of this is gonna be so painful. This is gonna be so painful. This is gonna be so painful indeed. Oh shit. Right, now we have the whole problem of implementing, well, we need to change how this thing loops over the AST. Like the whole way of looping over the AST completely changed from before. Load layout, and this is fine, I guess. Wait, where's the line? What's the line? This is the init. That's wrong. That's fine. Where's the cursor stuff? Template 83. Oof. Eval frame append root.cursor. There's no cursor? Oh no, guess what? This is a part of the API that I haven't touched at all. Ooh. So, so yeah, we need to look into this. Man, this is gonna be a lot of boring work that I need to do myself. I think I'm gonna do some of it tonight. So everybody, I think I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll see you next time. Also, I realized that I'm late for my meeting, so see you all.